かつて大谷選手とも熾烈な MVP 争いを繰り広げたメッツのスーパースターフランシスコ・リンドーア選手に異変が起きている。日本時間4月12日の試合ではゲッツーでイニング終了となる場面でセカンドベースカバーに入らず千賀投手炎上の一因となってしまい、前日には同点のチャンスで三塁ランナーだったリンドーア選手は中途半端な走塁で時間も稼げずタッチアウトに。そしてひどかったのは3日の試合、初回にゲッツーを狙える打球に対しアウトカウントを勘違いし取れたアウトは1つのみ。さらに同じ試合で完全に逆を突かれ牽制しも記録。今シーズンここまで打率1割台と打撃不振、チームも15試合消化時点で負け越しと状態が悪く、辛口で知られるニューヨークのファンやメディアから集中砲火を浴びる形となっている。
Francisco Lindor has to go. No good anymore
has to go.
For the New York Mets.
What do you mean has to
if
go?
I'm a Met
Well, we'll
fan,
see.
I've had enough. You allowed your wife to dictate what players got traded. You had a big schism in that locker room last year, and now here we are, what, 5, 6 games, 7 games into the baseball season, and in the first inning of a rubber match against the Cardinals, my bad. Francisco Lindor, you gotta go. He's everything wrong with sports today. You demand the $300 million, you get it. Then you want people to support your political views. Then you move into a $28 million Upper East Side apartment while your wife's telling people socialism is the way to go, as she's dropping little breadcrumbs out of her window so the peons can eat. This dude is not made for New York. I am sorry. And as a New York sports fan, I kick him out. Bye-bye, Francisco Lindor. You didn't win a damn thing in New York. Now you're getting all political in the locker room. You're forcing popular players to be traded. And you don't even know how many outs there are. And it ain't hard to count to one.
Look at that smile on fucking Francisco Lindor. He loves losing. He is a goddamn motherfucking loser. He has ripped the clubhouse apart again. On Tuesday, out of nowhere, Pedro comes out and says, this team has no chemistry. And now they've lost 3 in a row. And who is at the center of it again? Fucking Francisco Lindor. He couldn't get along with Alonso. They got rid of him. He couldn't get along with Nimmo. They got rid of him. He couldn't get along with McNeil. They got rid of him. Soto's hurt. They're falling the fuck apart. He's smiling, fucking up. He fucking lollygags the ball to first. He lobbed that ball to first, flat-footed on a fucking down play. Would not have scored one fucking run right there. Would not have scored one fucking run. But then he stands on third, and he's got this stupid fucking smile on his face again as he makes another stupid fucking base running anymore. He is fucking sabotaging the season because they didn't make his fucking pathetic communist ass the fucking captain, and now he's ripped everything apart. He ruined everything. They're gonna lose 90 games. It's the same shit as last year.
Mets fans have come to expect it, kind of, that he's just not going to hit in April and he's not going to hit in the early part of the season. But for him as a player, especially as he continues to build sort of his legacy and a remarkable career that could end in Cooperstown one day if he continues it for another number of years, you look at his numbers at the end of every season, and he always gets there, right? He did last year. He certainly did in 2024. But you look at the September numbers, and at least me every year, I'm like, well, could you imagine if we, in fact, were even like decent in April and May? If we didn't hit 130 in April, wow, what these would look like, you know? I feel like even for him as a player, I'm sure this is something that he's tried to address and like is aware of because it simply happens every single year. But the numbers and the stats at the end of the year would look a whole lot different if we decided to show up to play in the first 2 months.
Right. And the thing is, I feel like everybody always says, which I understand, you know, like baseball is a long season. Baseball is not like other sports necessarily in that regard. And, you know, whatever, 162 games, you're thinking, oh, well, you know, these are just the early season games. We're working out some of the kinks. But then honestly, all I can think about is how last year the Mets lost and didn't get into the playoffs, and it was literally because of one game at the end.
Something there, because it's happened repeatedly now. And I mean, the question there about him being, a buttoned-up player, that's one of his calling cards, is a heady guy who's into the, the nuance of the game and everything. I mean, you see him every time he comes in off the, from at bats, guys in the on-deck circle, he's whispering, what the guy's got, what the pitcher has, the repertoire, all that stuff, how you should approach the at-bat. So he's one of those guys who's thinking the entire time. I don't know what he was thinking going after that ball the way he did there. If he was playing that ball up the middle, he couldn't have been more wrong. And he's playing with a second baseman who's got a lot of range. This is supposed to be a run prevention dream up the middle. This is the David Stearns way here. What's happening with Lindor is puzzling. It's weird. It's alarming. It's all of these things. And I just I'm at a loss too here, Chelsea. I mean, maybe Harp's got something definitive, but
the night before I tweeted about it, I used the same word. Weird is really because there's no explanation for it.
Humble brag. Humble brag.
That's right.
Humble brag.
That's right.
Because everyone's looking at Harp's tweets, obviously.
Going back to him for getting the out and the number of outs and against the St. Louis in the first inning. The night before when he didn't make the turn on the double play.
Season's 2 weeks old and he got a whole laundry list.
But I didn't like his answer there either. He's asked about it and he's like, I don't know. I mean, there's got to be something more than that. So is there something going on with this guy? It is hard to figure because he's always been a solid, smart player. So.